Flex your muscles. Here's your fat back.
Just shut up and let me save your ass.
But thanks for dropping by.
Malfunction warning.
But Atlantis, blood. And that is why.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Doc! Push the gate! Done!
You buddy, come get it!
Aquaman!
And he was.
Real as you decide.
You will be Ocean Master.
Atlantean body! And don't you see?
find your... Never did he? All this to think he could ever change! Oh, kid! He's in the dark for this! Oh, go! I better... Me? I talk to Fish. He's always there when I need a lift. But I don't care. You know why? And that's breaking heads. But of course, there are fun parts of the job. You can kill that son of a bitch! His own chance.
Hey guys, today we're diving deep into the splashy sequel, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Get ready for more underwater mayhem, family drama, and questionable fashion choices. We'll break down Arthur's journey from landlocked dad to ocean-saving king, covering all the epic battles and heartfelt moments. It's a wild ride, and I promise to keep it entertaining, maybe even a little sarcastic. I put a lot of work into these, so if you like what you see, a like and a subscribe is always appreciated. No worries if not. So, let's get wet, shall we? Our story kicks off with Arthur Curry, still finding his royal sea legs, if you will. He's juggling kingly duties with, gasp, fatherhood. He's trying to be king of Atlantis, deal with global warming, and also change diapers. Clearly, the latter is the toughest. The clang of his trident is nothing compared to the squall of a baby in need of a fresh nappy. Meanwhile, our favorite vengeful villain, David Kane, aka Black Manta, is not chilling in a Hawaiian shirt somewhere. Nope, he's still obsessed, still fuming, and still convinced Aquaman ruined his life. He's training, plotting, and probably spending way too much time in dusty antique shops looking for magical vengeance tools. You know, normal villain stuff. He feels the sting of his father's death, the emotional wound as raw as a freshly caught tuna. His quest isn't just about power, it's deeply personal, fueled by a grief that's twisted into pure laser-focused hatred for Arthur. And let me tell you, that kind of motivation makes for a seriously dangerous antagonist. You can practically hear the evil cackle echoing through his skull. Black Manta and his goons, looking for ancient power-ups, stumble into a lost, frozen kingdom. And what do they find? A rather ominous-looking Black Trident, pulsing with dark energy. Because, of course, it's not enough to have a supersuit. You need a super-duper cursed weapon, too. As soon as Manta's hand closes around that frosty, evil-looking trident, you can practically hear the dun-dun-dun sound effect. It immediately starts whispering sweet, sinister nothings into his ear, twisting his already vengeful heart into something far more dangerous. The artifact isn't just a weapon. It's a parasite, slowly but surely corrupting him, amplifying his darkest desires, like a monstrous subwoofer. The chills of the ice cavern suddenly feel warmer, but infinitely more menacing. As the trident's icy grip tightens around his mind, it's like finding a cursed relic in a video game. Except this time, the player character is already a bad guy, and the upgrade just makes him even worse. The air grows heavy, the very ice groans as a forgotten evil begins to stir. Back in Atlantis, Arthur is getting a royal headache, and it's not just from baby sleepless nights. The planet is throwing a tantrum. Ice caps are melting faster than a snowman in the Sahara, and marine life is, well, not doing so hot. Turns out, Black Manta's new toy isn't just for looking evil. It's also causing a massive eco-catastrophe. Because if you're going to wreak havoc, why not take the entire planet down with you, right? The sea itself is crying out, a silent scream of dying coral and displaced creatures. The once vibrant blues and greens of the ocean floor begin to dull, replaced by an unsettling, almost sickly pallor. It's a stark reminder that even the most ancient evils can have surprisingly modern impacts. The weight of the world, or at least the seven seas, falls squarely on Arthur's broad, trident-wielding shoulders. The urgency is palpable, a cold dread seeping into the regal halls of Atlantis. Arthur realizes he's up a coral creek without a paddle. This isn't just a supervillain spat, it's an extinction-level event in the making. So, what's a king to do when things go sideways? Break out your evil half-brother from his super-secret desert prison, of course. Because when facing certain doom, who better to team up with than the guy who tried to conquer the surface world? The logic is sound, ... Ish, he knows it's a gamble. A roll of the dice in a cosmic casino, but the stakes are too high to play it safe. The desert, an expanse of relentless heat and endless sand, feels like an entirely alien world to Arthur. A stark contrast to the familiar embrace of the ocean. The air is thick, dry, a choking sensation compared to the fluid world he calls home. The plan forms in his mind a reckless dance with danger. But necessity often makes for strange bedfellows, or in this case, stranger cellmates. He prepares for the unexpected, knowing Orm's unpredictable nature could either save them or sink them both. Arthur busts into Orm's desert digs, and let me tell you, Orm is not having a good time. He's pale, scruffy, and probably dreaming of a nice, cool ocean breeze instead of endless sand and subpar prison gruel. Arthur, ever the charmer, informs him that the world is ending, and he needs his help. Orm, predictably, is less than thrilled. Their reunion is as warm as an ice cube in the desert. The metallic clang of the bending bars echoes in the stifling heat. A harsh contrast to the gentle lapping of waves in their true home. Orm's eyes, once full of fire, now hold a weary resignation, a soul stripped bare by isolation and regret. The sand grates under Arthur's boots, a foreign texture that screams how far they both are from where they belong. The silence between them is thick, charged with years of betrayal and a grudging, unspoken respect. This isn't a warm family reunion, it's a desperate plea, a king humbling himself for the sake of a dying world. The stench of stale air and desperation hangs heavy. So now we have the buddy cop duo. No one asked for, but secretly wanted. Arthur and Orm, squabbling like toddlers in a sand. Arthur's trying to explain the gravity of the situation, and Orm's just being, well, Orm. He's clearly not thrilled about being dragged away from his solitary confinement. But the mention of Black Manta and a genuine threat to Atlantis finally piques his interest. Their banter is a chaotic mix of insults and grudging strategic insights. A symphony of sibling rivalry played out against the backdrop of a dying world. The engine of their desert vehicle rumbles a monotonous drone that fills the void between their arguments. The sun beats down, relentless, mirroring the heat of their clashing personalities. You can almost feel the desert wind whipping sand into their faces, a gritty reminder of their predicament. It's less Avengers Assemble and more the odd couple go to war. But hey, sometimes dysfunction is just what you need to save the world. The vibrations from the engine hum through their bones, a constant reminder of their shared perilous journey. They plunge back into the ocean, following the destructive path left by the Black Trident. It's like following a breadcrumb trail of ecological devastation. But instead of breadcrumbs, it's dead marine life and weird energy signatures. They encounter bizarre bioluminescent creatures, a visual feast that's also a stark reminder of the ocean's fragile beauty. The silence of the deep is occasionally broken by the eerie clicks and calls of unknown species, a symphony of the abyss. The currents tug at them, a powerful unseen hand guiding them deeper into the unknown. Arthur tries to explain the current ecological mess to Orm, who, to his credit, seems genuinely concerned even if he hides it behind a perpetual frown. The weight of the world, quite literally, presses in on them. The crushing pressure of the deep mirroring the gravity of their mission. Every ripple, every shifting shadow, feels pregnant with discovery and danger. The metallic temps of the ocean fills Arthur's senses. A comforting yet now deeply troubling aroma, their journey takes them to the trench, a place even Arthur avoids on his days off. It's dark, it's creepy, and it's full of creatures that look like they belong in a nightmare. Turns out, Black Manta's set up shop here, using the trench's geothermal vents to power up his cursed trident. Because why just conquer, when you can also have a supervillain lair with excellent energy efficiency? The roars and chitters of the trench's inhabitants echo around them, a chilling chorus of primordial hunger. The water is thick, murky, visibility plummeting to mere feet, making every shadow a potential threat. Orm, surprisingly, is proving to be a useful, if grumbling, asset. His knowledge of Atlantean lore, helping them navigate the treacherous landscape. The heat from the geothermal vents radiates through the water, a strange warmth in the otherwise frigid depths. The air smells of sulfur and ancient, untamed power. This isn't just a hideout. It's a festering wound on the planet, pulsing with malevolent energy. The brothers finally catch up to Manta, and boy, has he upgraded. That Black Trident isn't just for show. It's a supercharged artifact of doom, blasting energy bolts and making Manta surprisingly agile. The ensuing fight is brutal. Arthur and Orm, for all their bickering, have to work together, a grudging ballet of trident clashes and desperate dodges. The concussive blasts from Manta's weapon reverberate through the water, a terrifying thunderclap in the deep. Orm's precise calculated strikes contrast with Arthur's raw, unbridled power, creating a dynamic, if uncoordinated, tag team. The metallic thrum of Manta's suit fills the claustrophobic space, a persistent drone of impending doom. The trench creatures, stirred by the chaos, add another layer of danger, their hungry shrieks piercing the cacophony of battle. The water churns, a violent swirl of debris and displaced energy. They barely escape, leaving Manta to stew in his evil glory and plan his next move. The bitter tang of defeat lingers, a taste as sharp as the trident's tip. With their tails between their legs, Arthur and Orm beat a hasty retreat as Manta's lair starts to buckle. It's a miracle they got out alive, frankly. The battle made it clear that Black Manta isn't just playing around anymore. He's got cosmic-level firepower, and he's not afraid to use it. They realize the Trident's power is tied to something far more ancient and sinister than they first imagined. The ominous groans of the collapsing structure echo behind them, a chilling reminder of their narrow escape. The cold seep of the deep reasserts itself, a stark contrast to the superheated chaos they just endured. They exchange weary glances, a silent acknowledgement of the sheer danger they face, and perhaps a glimmer of respect for each other. The faint buzz of their comes is a welcome sound, a connection back to a world they're fighting to save. The weight of this new intel settles heavily on them, a grim understanding of the true scale of the encroaching darkness. Every muscle aches, every breath is a struggle, yet their resolve, surprisingly, remains. Back in Atlantis, Arthur and Orm are greeted by Mara, who, let's just say, isn't thrilled to see Orm. Her initial fury at Arthur for breaking him out is quickly replaced by horror as they explain the Black Trident's escalating power and Manta's apocalyptic plans. The urgency in Arthur's voice, the genuine fear in his eyes, cuts through her anger, replaced by a cold dread. The vibrant, bustling energy of Atlantis feels almost incongruous with the dire news they bring. The Council, initially skeptical, soon grasps the monumental scale of the threat. Their faces a mixture of disbelief and grim determination. Vulko, ever the wise mentor, offers counsel, though he seems more concerned about Orm than anything. The rhythmic thrum of Atlantean technology, usually a comfort, now sounds like a ticking clock. The air crackles with tension, a shared understanding that the fate of two worlds rests on their shoulders. The echoes of their footsteps on the polished Atlantean floors feel unusually loud, a testament to the heavy news they carry. The Atlantean archives are opened, and it's time for a history lesson. They uncover the truth about the lost Seventh Kingdom, Necros, and its sinister ruler, King Kordax. Turns out, the Black Trident isn't just a powerful weapon. It's Kordax's actual trident, infused with his very essence, and it's trying to bring him back from beyond the grave. Talk about a bad inheritance. The ancient texts, illuminated by glowing Atlantean light, revealed prophecies and warnings long forgotten, their words crackling with forgotten power. Orm, surprisingly, is a fount of knowledge on these darker legends, a stark reminder of his past obsessions with Atlantean supremacy. The holographic projections of ancient battles and a chillingly powerful Kordax fill the chamber, his image exuding a raw, untamed fury. The silence in the archive is absolute, save for the soft hum of the projection, as the true horror of their situation unfolds before them. The cold seep of history chills them to the bone, a deep, ancient dread. Meanwhile, Black Manta, now practically a puppet on Kordax's dark strings, is busy performing rituals. He's melting even more ice caps, creating a feedback loop of ecological disaster that's meant to free Kordax completely. His voice, once his own, now has a deeper, more resonant growl, a chilling testament to Kordax's control. The air around him crackles with dark energy, the Black Trident pulsating with malevolent light. He's not just a man anymore. He's a vessel, a conduit for an ancient evil hellbent on reclaiming its dominion. The guttural chants, alien and unsettling, echo through the cavern, vibrating with raw, untamed magic. The very ground trembles with the surge of power, a symphony of destruction in the making. The chill of the melting ice mixes with the unnatural heat radiating from the ritual, an unsettling dichotomy of global ruin. He's not just enacting a plan, he's unleashing an apocalypse. Brick by terrifying brick, with the stakes higher than a skyscraper built of sea urchins. Arthur Orm and Mara put their heads together, combining ancient maps, Orm's arcane knowledge, and Arthur's brute force. They managed to pinpoint the secret location of Necrus. It's a hidden kingdom, shrouded in magic and misfortune, like a particularly grumpy hermit crab. The faint glow of the holographic maps illuminates their determined faces, a silent promise to protect their world. The whispers of the ancient charts, detailing forgotten sea lanes and vanished currents, offer a tantalizing breadcrumb trail to the lost kingdom. The clicks and whirs of Atlantean tech intermingle with Orm's quiet murmurings of forgotten lore. A blend of science and mysticism. The tension in the room is thick enough to cut with a trident, as they realize they're marching directly into the maw of an ancient evil. The cold, unyielding depths of the ocean conceal its secrets, but for now, they have a target. The metallic sheen of Arthur's armor seems to dull slightly in the face of such overwhelming odds. Our intrepid trio infiltrates Necros, and it's not exactly a bustling tourist destination. It's a desolate, eerie wasteland filled with spectral remnants of its cursed inhabitants. The silence here is deafening, broken only by the faint thrum of the Trident's malevolent energy. They learn more about Kordax's brutal reign and the cataclysm that banished him. A terrifying tale of unchecked power and dark magic. The ghostly wisps of the past swirl around them, a chilling reminder of the kingdom's tragic downfall. The air is heavy, thick with the scent of decay and a lingering ancient despair. Every shadow seems to hold a forgotten scream, every crumbled archway a ghost of past grandeur. Mara's senses are on high alert, her movements fluid and silent as she scans for threats, her eyes sharp as a predator's. Arthur and Orm, for once, are almost in sync, their usual banter replaced by a grim determination. The cold seep of the cursed kingdom penetrates their very souls, a warning from history. This place doesn't just hold secrets, it actively exudes suffering. They hatch a plan, and it's a doozy. The goal? Disrupt Manta's ritual, separate him from the Black Trident, and hopefully put Kordax back in his box. Easier said than done when you're dealing with an ancient, mind-controlling super. The clatter of Atlantean weaponry being readied for battle cuts through the tense quiet, a prelude to the impending storm. Orm, surprisingly, contributes some genuinely clever tactical insights, proving he's more than just a pouty prince. Mara, ever the pragmatist, highlights potential pitfalls, her sharp mind cutting through the bravado. Arthur, fueled by a father's protective fury and a king's duty, is ready to charge headfirst, but he listens, knowing this isn't a fight he can win alone. The pressure is immense, the stakes astronomical. Every whispered word, every pointed finger on the holographic map carries the weight of their world. The very air around them feels charged, a pre-battle energy that hums with anticipation and fear. The metallic temps of uncertainty fills the air, mingling with their shared resolve. The final battle explodes. Atlantean forces, led by Arthur, clash with Black Manta's army, now bolstered by Kordax's dark magic. It's an all-out aquatic war, a chaotic ballet of energy blasts, trident strikes, and powerful hydrokinesis. The roar of battle echoes through the ocean, a cacophony of colliding metal and displaced water. The clash of tridents rings out, a metallic symphony of defiance. Mera, a whirlwind of furious power, rips through Manta's forces, her hydrokinetic abilities reshaping the battlefield. Orm, surprisingly effective, fights with a newfound ferocity, protecting Atlantis not out of duty, but a burgeoning sense of belonging. The very water churns with raw power, illuminated by the flashes of energy weapons. This isn't just a fight, it's a desperate struggle for survival, a defining moment for Arthur and his newfound, albeit temporary, family. The ground trembles beneath them, a testament to the colossal forces unleashed. The metallic tang of battle, a mixture of fear and determination, fills the senses. In a pivotal moment, just as Black Manta is about to deliver a killing blow to Arthur, Orm, the former usurper, throws himself into the fray. He diverts the attack, absorbing some of its devastating power. A desperate act of self-sacrifice, this isn't just a strategy, it's a profound shift in his character, a choice born of loyalty, not ambition. The groan of exertion, the almost imperceptible flinch, betrays the pain, but his gaze remains fixed, resolute. The metallic shriek of deflected energy pierces the water, a stark declaration of his change of heart. His actions speak louder than any words, a stark contrast to his earlier betrayals. This isn't just about saving Arthur, it's about saving himself, reclaiming a semblance of honor. The crushing pressure of the deep suddenly feels less suffocating as a glimmer of hope shines through the chaos. The shockwave from the deflected blast washes over them, a powerful testament to Orm's newfound strength of character. He's no longer the ocean master, but a brother. Inspired by Orm's sacrifice, Arthur rallies. With a roar that shakes the very water, he tackles Manta, fighting not just Manta. He manages to pry the Black Trident from Manta's grasp, breaking the ancient evil's hold. The shriek of rage from Kordax, a sound that vibrates through their bones, is almost deafening as his spectral form begins to separate from Manta, a chillingly ethereal silhouette. The crackle of dark energy dissipates, leaving Manta disoriented and weakened, his eyes wide with a horrifying realization of what he's become. The metallic clang of the trident hitting the ground is surprisingly loud in the momentary lull, a period of quiet before the true storm. The tension in the water is palpable, a lingering resonance of the dark magic. It's a victory, yes, but a momentary one, as the true threat. Kordax is now unleashed, albeit in a weakened state. The air is thick with the scent of ozone and triumph, swiftly followed by a fresh wave of fear. Freed from Manta's unwilling servitude, Kordax unleashes his true terrifying form. He's a monstrous spectral entity wielding the Black Trident with primal fury, aiming to reclaim his kingdom and destroy anyone in his path. The water churns around him, responding to his ancient dark command, forming vortexes and razor-sharp currents. His roar is a guttural sound that vibrates through the very foundations of Necros, a chilling testament to his raw power. Arthur, Orm, and Mera are forced to fight an entity far beyond their previous comprehension, a living legend of pure malice. The metallic clack of trident against trident, the whoosh of hydrokinetic blasts, and the piercing shriek of Kordax create a terrifying symphony of destruction. Every impact sends shockwaves through the water, a powerful physical expression of the overwhelming force at play. The air itself feels charged with malevolence, a suffocating aura emanating from the ancient king. The cold of his touch is more than just temperature. It's a chilling drain on their life force. This isn't just a battle. It's a desperate attempt to survive against a truly ancient, overwhelming evil. Arthur realizes they can't simply beat Kordax. He's too ancient, too powerful. The only way to win is to send him back to his original prison dimension. With a desperate, heroic gambit, Arthur uses the Golden Trident, the very symbol of Atlantean royalty, to open a portal, a shimmering tear in the fabric of reality. With a guttural roar, he charges, intending to drag Kordax back into the abyss with him, a last, desperate act of self-sacrifice. The Golden Trident, usually a beacon of light, now channels raw, focused energy, its hum a steady thrum against his palm. The sheer force required to open such a rift strains every fiber of his being, the muscles in his arms screaming in protest. The air crackles, tasting of ozone and raw power, as the portal widens, a swirling vortex of shimmering blues and greens. Mera's frantic shout, Orm's desperate warning, are lost to the roar of the dimensional shift. He knows this might be the end, a final defining moment for the king who never quite fit in. The cold, unseen tug of the portal's vacuum is relentless, pulling at his very essence. The metallic taste of adrenaline floods his mouth, sharp and bitter. But wait, Orm, finally accepting his brother, makes his own heroic choice. Seeing Arthur struggling, on the verge of being swallowed by the dimensional rift, Orm doesn't hesitate. With a determined snarl, he leaps into the portal after them, using his own strength and knowledge to help Arthur push Kordax back into his eternal prison. The clang of his armor, the powerful kick of his legs propelling him forward, are sounds of fierce determination. The very fabric of reality screams around them, a cacophony of distorted sound and light. This isn't just a physical struggle, it's a battle of wills against an ancient evil and a desperate struggle to save a brother. Orm's muscles strain, his face a mask of fierce concentration, as he adds his might to Arthur's. The feeling of the portal's pull is disorienting, a sickening lurch that threatens to tear them apart. The air inside the rift smells of nothing and everything, a bizarre mix of static and ancient dust. He's not just saving Arthur, he's completing his own redemption arc, choosing family over power, love over hate. The triumphant surge of energy, as Kordax is finally shoved through, is almost palpable. A powerful current of relief, with a final desperate shove, Kordax is banished. The portal collapses in on itself, leaving Arthur and Orm bruised and battered, but gloriously victorious. Black Manta, stripped of his power and Kordax's influence, collapses, a broken shell of a man. The overwhelming hum of dark magic finally dissipates, replaced by a lingering sense of peace. Nekros, once a cursed wasteland, begins to stabilize the ocean, reclaiming it in a gentler, more natural way. The quiet splashes of the returning sea creatures, the soft currents beginning to flow, are a welcome balm after the chaos. The silence after the storm is almost deafening, a profound quietude that settles over the newly peaceful depths. They exchange a look, not of triumph, but of shared exhaustion and a newfound bond. The metallic taste of victory is sweet, mingled with the bitter tang of the fight. The air, though still bearing the faint scent of ozone, is now fresh. The heavy thud of their landing, after being flung from the portal, is a grounded reminder of their return to reality. With the world saved from ancient evil and ecological collapse, Arthur decides to do right by his brother. Instead of sending Orm back to the desert prison, he arranges for him to live in exile on the surface world, not as a captive, but as a free man. It's a chance for Orm to truly find himself, without the weight of Atlantean expectations or the lure of power. The soft lapping of the waves against the shore, the gentle whisper of the wind, are a stark contrast to the confining silence of his former prison. His gaze drifts across the vast expanse of the ocean, a mix of longing and acceptance in his eyes. He's still got that royal frown, but now there's a flicker of peace beneath it. The distant calls of seagulls, the unfamiliar warmth of the sun on his face, are all new sensations for the former king. He's traded a throne for freedom, a crown for contemplation. The metallic scent of the sea air, once a symbol of his birthright, now represents a hopeful new beginning. The raw, gritty feel of the sand beneath his feet is a grounding reality. In a truly monumental moment, Arthur, now a confident and slightly less awkward king, stands before the United Nations. He reveals Atlantis' existence to the surface world, a bold move that sends ripples of shock and awe through the global community. His voice, strong and resonant, fills the assembly hall, a powerful call for unity. He advocates for environmental protection, urging humanity to treat the planet, both land and sea, with respect. The hushed murmurs of the delegates, the flash of cameras, all underscore the gravity of this unprecedented revelation. The metallic click of the podium mic, the soft rustle of papers, are the only sounds in the otherwise silent, expectant chamber. His words are not just a king's decree, but a plea from the heart, a bridge between two worlds. The tension in the room is thick, a mixture of disbelief and wonder. The warm glow of the overhead lights reflects off the polished tables, illuminating the weight of his message. The very air seems to vibrate with the impact of his declaration, a seismic shift in global politics. He's still Arthur, but he's also more than that now. He's a true bridge between worlds. The film closes with Arthur not just as a king, but as a man who's finally found balance. He looks at his son Arthur Jr. with a deep, quiet pride, knowing he's fighting for a better future for him. Mara stands by his side, a pillar of strength and love, their family a testament to bridging divides, the gentle lapping of the waves against the shore. The distant cries of gulls are a soothing backdrop to this hopeful new beginning. Atlantis and the surface world, though still navigating their new relationship, now have a chance to coexist, to learn from each other. The sun glints off the ocean surface, a shimmering promise of hope and unity. The metallic hum of Atlantean technology, the soft whoosh of displaced water, are no longer sounds of conflict, but of progress. Arthur's journey, filled with growth and challenge, has brought him to this moment, a leader capable of inspiring change. It's a powerful message, really, that even the most reluctant hero can rise to meet the moment, not just with a trident, but with an open heart and a willingness to embrace the messy, complicated beauty of family and responsibility. The future, though uncertain, now feels incredibly bright, a vibrant tapestry waiting to be woven. The scent of salt and possibility hangs in the air, a breath of fresh, hopeful air. He's not just a king, he's a father, a husband, and a guardian of two worlds. And that, my friends, is a pretty epic legacy.